Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Word Podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, and checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit up those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. It is July 24th, 2020, Friday. Welcome to the end of the work week. Friday, it is opening day for the Padres. And this is also what I was going to say. This is take 3. Been having a little technical difficulties, so if you see me looking at my computer a little more often, that's why. Like I said, this is take 3. But let's get into this. Like I said, it is Padres opening day today. I am excited. I know baseball kind of started yesterday, but to be honest, I didn't watch any of those games because I really don't care. If it's not the Padres, I really don't care. So that's what I am looking forward to. That's what I'm excited about. That is this evening. So that's going to be kind of what we're talking about. First thing, when we get into everything, let's recap what has been going on. So yesterday was a pretty lazy day for the most part. I ran Monday through Wednesday, so I ran 3 days in a row. Just took yesterday off a little bit. Just let my body rest and stuff. But I feel kind of bad about it. It's like I could have done a little workout, but I just wasn't feeling in the right headspace, I guess. It wasn't a terrible day, but it wasn't like a good day or anything like that. So it was just kind of one of those, whatever. In the morning, I knew I had to get some stuff done and kind of handled. I had this bill from the hospital back in February, which I never ended up, really talking about all the way, but went to the hospital in February and got hit with these bills a couple months later. And it's like, I thought I was signed up for insurance and all of that, but come to find out that I wasn't. And then in the midst of this pandemic and all of that, just trying to get the proper information and get it sorted out has just been really slow, really frustrating. Like, I remember one day a few weeks back, probably a month or so back now, I was on the phone with like 5 or 6 different agencies. They were all passing me around to different places. Nobody was really being straightforward with me. They would seem to get it handled, and then they would transfer me over to another thing, and then like I would explain the situation and be like, no, you're talking to the wrong people. And oh man, finally this one lady kind of helped out quite a bit and set me on the right path and kind of set me in this path, in this direction where things are kind of moving forward. I have only this last week or so to get it figured out, so that's kind of, I procrastinate everything all the time, so I didn't want to hit it last minute and something go wrong and me not be eligible for the health insurance and the retroactive payment and all of that. So I knew I had to kind of take care of it this week, and just in case there was any problems, then I would still have an additional week to kind of figure it out and navigate through. But I don't know. I still feel like something wasn't done right or completed or whatever. But, I called a few different places and checked in on it, and they all said it was good and there's nothing more I really needed to do. So that's good. I'm excited about that. Like, I just don't want this bill, and I don't want the bill going to collections and all of that. So it's like, especially when I thought I had the insurance, so that's just what's frustrating. What else? Not much else was going on yesterday. I did play a little bit of the Call of Duty Warzone. You can check that on the Twitch, link in the description below. Also, so this is what I'm gonna start doing on Thursdays. I'm gonna try, fingers crossed, um, because Thursday is the only day I haven't been doing a video for the channel. You know, usually go Monday through Wednesday and then Friday as well. So what I will try and do from here on out is stream a good amount on Thursday for the gameplay and have that here. And then the rest of the week, throughout the week, I'll be streaming on Twitch. So that's what I think is going to happen, just to create more content, spread it out throughout a couple different platforms and everything like that. But yeah, that's just kind of what I envisioned yesterday. Like I just kind of had that idea yesterday. So that I think is what will be implemented and how we will be operating. I mean, you can go check out, I just want to create as much content as possible, from the Real Word podcast, which you're listening to now, Tuesday Morning Tokes, Drew and Chase Side by Side, the No World Order podcast, and No World Order IG Live. Again, that reminds me, go check out at _the No World Order podcast on Instagram. Shout out to Zach. He's the one, always posting on there for the most part. And then we got to get back to it. I know he's back from his trip now, so we got to kind of get back to the Instagram lives and kind of figuring that whole thing out, But yeah, hope he had a good trip. Gotta, reconnect, talk to him, and just go from there. Let's get into this little dab, man. Too bad you didn't see that last take, because when I took a dab, the fucking torch was messing up, and it was like a flamethrower, man. Like, it was insane, but that's hopefully not gonna happen this time. Hopefully it's smooth sailing from here. Let me show you what I got. I got this Blue Dream from Bad Fish Extracts. Let me show you. Ooh, it smells really good, really flavorful. It is a really potent Blue Dream. It might have been a little hard to see because it is kind of a little translucent, clear, white looking wax, but it is good. And for a Blue Dream, man, I like it. Blue Dream was a classic strain, man. It really was. Like, it's one of the first strains kind of I ever remember smoking or getting in constant rotation. Probably about 9, 10, 11 years ago now, something like that. Back when I first started smoking, and we had to go to like Dana Point to get some weed. That was like the closest shop. It was like 45 hour away or whatever. There might have been some in downtown San Diego, but where we were, I guess Dana Point was a little bit quicker. I don't know. But that was back then, and I just remember Blue Dream was always like a strain that would be in rotation. And there would be different types of Blue Dream too, like that. Blue Dream when you see it, but then there would be these knockoff, like outdoor. I don't know what it was, but it was not Blue Dream that they were trying to pass off as Blue Dream. But if you know Blue Dream, you know what I'm talking about. It's that classic Blue Dream, and that's what this concentrate smells like. That classic Blue Dream. So let's get into that. This isn't the first dab of the day because I did, take 2 other tries of this same episode. The first episode I didn't even get to a dab. Second episode we were about 6-7 minutes in, and then it messed up. So hopefully I did what I needed to do to get it taken care of and it doesn't happen again. Let's get into this. Cheers. Get that deep inhale. So yeah, man, let me just kind of explain. I got out here at like 6-ish, 6:15. It's like 9:30 now, so it's been a little bit of difficulty, a little frustration. But looks like we got it now, so. Got the last of my coffee. Luckily, still had one more cup of that. Woo. So there was a few things I wanted to talk about, but because today is opening day for baseball for the Padres, had to get on the fresh shirt. I mean, it is an old shirt, but I did have another shirt on Monday, I think it was, and I was like, oh, I might wear the same shirt, but I knew I had another shirt. Just had to find it, throw it on, boom, Padres, here we go, opening day. 6:10 p.m. this evening, Chris Paddock was named the starting pitcher. And there are 8 players making their first opening day roster, starting with infielder and former Aztec Ty France, outfielders Josh Naylor and Trent Grisham, and pitchers Cal Quantrill, Javi Guerrera, and David Bednar. And all of those players appeared in games last year, like in the majors last year. So that's exciting for these, young players, the ones that are given their first opportunity to make the major league squad. And it's pretty awesome. And I feel with the Padres, they do have a ton of talent. And with this shortened season, 60 games, and now they expanded the playoffs to 16 teams, I feel like they really can have a chance. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of young pitchers, and starting with Chris Paddock, I know he was kind of a mainstay in the rotation last season, but he did still have his innings limitations. So this is going to be the first season where he isn't held back by that, and it is a shortened season, so it should be interesting. I mean, you don't want to push him too hard or anything like that. You do want to, take care of him, make sure he's good, because he is going to be a really good talent over the next, decade plus, I would imagine. And you have these other young pitchers that I am not really aware of, just due to the fact I don't watch minor league or college or anything like that. But listening to interviews and reading articles and things like that, a lot of people are high on the pitchers, these young pitchers that the Padres have, and that they're going to be part of the rotation in the squad. So we have Chris Paddock, Dinelson Lamet, Garrett Richards. So those are going to be the 1, 2, 3 starting the first 3 games. And then after that, AJ Preller said that they'll consider between Zach Davies, Joey Lucchesi, and Cal Quantrill for the final 2 spots in the 5-man rotation. So, like I said, there's a lot of young talent, but that just means that they could be hungry too and have a lot to prove and show their strengths. So I'm excited about this season. They really got to come out strong. They really got to make an impact early. Tatis is back. Machado, Hosmer, Myers, and then like I said, they have these this core group of young players as well. So they are geared for, success, but it is the Padres, and it just seems like it's just something about when these players come to San Diego and they put on that Padres uniform, the talent just goes away. I don't know what it is, but it seems like the talent is there mixed with the young, with the veterans, with, you know what I mean? So we'll see. And will the lack of fans, have an impact, and what will that do? The game will look a little bit different, but I'm still excited about it. I'll be turning it on this evening, and go Padres. I gotta give them support. I gotta go back after this and go listen to the rewind a little bit on 97.3 The Fan, catch up on the last bit of Ben and Woods, and kind of just listen to the local radio today, because they're just gonna be highlighting a lot of the players. I know Jace Tingler is gonna be his major league debut as well as a coach, from my understanding. Like as a manager, and he's been involved in other teams, but as a manager, I believe this is going to be his major league debut. So, this is the start of something new, a new era for the Padres, and we got to just kick it off right. I can't believe I said that. I've been saying they and all that the whole time, but they got to kick it off right, and just live up to that potential, That's all I gotta say, but I'm excited about it. We'll see how long and if it lasts the entire season, the 60 games. I did hear, yesterday that someone on the Washington Nationals got COVID, Soto or something like that. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? So everything is still kind of you gotta still be aware of all of that. But baseball is back, and Padres start this evening, and I'm excited about that. So other sports stuff, I can't believe this. I mean, I was talking about Mike Tyson on Tuesday, more with the Tyson Ranch stuff and the Smart Cups. That was a really interesting topic. Go check that out if you want. But then this news was announced. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. is announced for September 12th. I didn't see where it was scheduled for, like what venue or anything like that. I might have skipped over that, but it is signed. It's official. And you knew something was coming up with Mike, because, you've been seeing these little training videos, these little, like, highlight things of him in the gym hitting bags and, seeming like he had that hunger again, and just like, man, he's like 54, something like that. Yeah, he's 54 years old, and last fought in 2005. And yeah, just seeing him like still in that shape, man, just it was crazy. And I do find it interesting because, like, watching his podcast and like the hot boxing with Mike Tyson and all that, it just seems like he wanted to distance himself from that Mike Tyson. Like he didn't like who he was when he was that boxer, and in that mentality and that ego. So it'll be interesting to kind of see if that kind of takes over, or if he keeps this mentality that he has with it, but he just still loves boxing and stuff. Like, I don't really know what that is, or what happened, or what, but it just seemed like for so long he was just so mellow and just didn't want to associate with training or anything like that, because he just didn't like that side of him. He didn't like what that did to him. But we'll see, man. I mean, it gives opportunity to someone like me who, was a little too young for Mike Tyson in his prime. I was like 12, 13 at his last fight, something like that, 2005. So I was probably around there, and that's I wasn't old enough to be like buying pay-per-views or watching boxing like that. So now I'm older and more aware of who he was and how devastating he was in his prime and all of that, and to be able to witness this will be interesting, man. It's like, yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching, even if it is just kind of like a, I don't think it's gonna be like a oh whatever type of fight, but I think he's gonna come. If even if it is, I'm still gonna watch it. You know, I still think he's gonna come in training. You've seen how he's been training, so I just think and it was interesting because he said he was adamant that any match that he took was against a legitimate boxer and not some like celebrity or crossover athlete. So he wanted like a legitimate challenge. Um these two are around the same age, and Roy Jones Jr. last fought in 2018, so he's definitely been more active and all of that. So this should be really interesting, even if they are two older guys going at it. Like it, if that's what they love, if that's what they agree to, if that's what they want to do, I'm all for it. But like I said, I just find it interesting because and for like Mike Tyson's mentality, you know? I just think that'll be kind of interesting to see how he comes out on the other side of this. Maybe I'll start paying attention more to his podcast again a little bit more, see where he's at, and yeah, because I just find that like fascinating and interesting. Um so what did he say? He said, I never took that many punches. After the last fight I had, I left and I lived my life, and I've been through some experiences, and now I'm back here. I feel like I took better care of my body and my state of mind than most of the fighters before me that retired and came back. Jones' state of mind. What? Jones said, I had no intention of going back and fighting again, but for the sake of Mike Tyson, I agree to make an exception, Jones said. For me, this is an opportunity that I cannot refuse. Of all those who wanted to go into that ring with him, he chose me. And since he did that, how can I say no? So, those are the two explanations from both of them. It's like Mike Tyson feels like he took care of his body, took care of, his mind and all of that. And then Roy Jones Jr. just, he got called out, and Mike Tyson chose him, and he just said, he's like, how could he say no? And should be a big money fight regardless, you know? Like, Mike Tyson didn't want that just super fight, whatever. He wanted a legitimate person, and this seems like it could be the perfect opportunity to have at least one more fight for both of them. So that's interesting. I do find that really interesting. Was there anything else in that one that I wanted to get to? I don't think so. Oh man, so let's get into this story. This is a more local story here. And then this will kind of lead into kind of a bunch of other stuff that'll kind of end us out. But this is one story I read this morning. And yeah, it's here in San Diego. And so this says a San Diego County Sheriff's correctional deputy was arrested by Chula Vista police officers and booked on charges of child molestation, luring a minor into a sex act, and sending or showing harmful material in order to seduce a minor. Local jail records show. Jalen Fleer, who's 27, who also played high school baseball in 2011, I believe, was booked on Wednesday into the Vista Detention Center, and is not eligible for bail. He now faces 15 charges related to the arrest, including 6 counts of sending or showing harmful material, 3 for luring a minor for sex, 2 counts of lewd and lascivious behavior with a minor and oral copulation with a person under 16, among other charges. He had been with the department since June 2015. His last assignment at the San Diego Central Jail, according to the department spokesman. The department was made aware of a possible incident involving Fleer, and he was placed on administrative leave when it became appropriate to do so. The sheriff's department takes allegations of illegal activity by its employees very seriously. The department said in a news release, "We hold all our deputies to the highest standards and will hold deputies who violate the law accountable." Oh man, so this is right here in San Diego. This is just disgusting and awful. And yeah, definitely the right thing was done where he was taken to jail and facing all of these charges. I feel awful for everybody involved dealing with, who he did this to. That's just terrible. And it just seems like a lot of these types of arrests are starting to happen. If you're paying attention to kind of the underground news, I mean, I believe this was on like Fox and kind of all Fox 5, and all of those articles were kind of on the local news. But I'm talking about like the pedophilia stuff. Like a lot of pedophiles have been arrested over the last, 4 years or something like that. So, and this was just right here, man. Oh, it just kind of makes me sick. It's just disgusting. And yeah, hopefully, whatever justice just needs to be served, you know what I mean? Like, where's the outrage? Where's the protest for this type of stuff? That's what I keep saying. It's like, this is the kind of stuff that everybody needs to get behind, because kids and people with disability, animals, they can't defend themselves, you know what I mean? So we need to like really come together and point out these things. And yeah, it's hard to even talk about and get through, but it's like we need to be made aware of it. And like I said, luckily this person was caught, and it's just so insane that he's a part of the system and everything. So yeah, it's really, really frustrating, but it looks like things are being done to kind of get that handled. So that's what needs to be done. And then, like I said, that kind of topic leads me into the rest of the stuff going on. So this whole thing is just really interesting. Like, I kind of talked about it the other day, the Chrissy Teigen thing. And her deleting over 60,000 tweets, mostly dealing with like pedophilia and, sexualizing kids, which is just really weird, man. Like kids and toddlers and stuff, and toddlers and tiaras, and like just saying some really unsettling things, over, it was from quite a while ago from my understanding, but why even put that out there? But then why go delete them when you're being called out? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And the screen, people have the tweets and all of that. So it's just, really crazy. 60,000 tweets, and she goes and blocks 1 million people. Yeah, and people are saying it's like people started kind of attacking her once Ghislaine Maxwell got arrested, and the connection between that, her and Epstein, and I don't really know the entire situation of it, but it looks really suspicious when you're going and deleting 60,000 tweets and then blocking like a million plus people. There's something going on there. Like, that's just really insane. Like, why delete them if that's how you feel and what you stand by? Like, don't hide from it now. What, because you're being called out on it? Like, it's really strange. It's like I've sent things out on Twitter and then or Instagram or whatever, and then I've deleted them really quick. But it's like that's more of me being in a very irrational state mentally. So it's like I'll tweet something out and then I'll delete it. These are from years ago, and now you're deleting them. Like, that's just weird. I don't get it. And then what was this on Tuesday? Twitter announced that it began taking sweeping actions to limit the reach of QAnon content and ban many of the conspiracy theories followers due to ongoing problems with harassment and dissemination and of misinformation. Um This is really interesting too because this kind of coincides with the Chrissy Teigen thing, and it's like these people are just pointing out the truth and pointing out things that she said, and a lot of these Q people, like, okay, I've gotten called a QAnon believer or something like that, and I don't even know what it is. I don't know what Q information is. I've never seen a Q drop like I've heard people because I listen to like Tinfoil Hat and other conspiracy theory podcasts and stuff, but I don't know anything about Q. But it's like when I have like conversations with people online, it's like I've been called, "Oh, you believe Q," and then I've gotten blocked by these people. It's like I don't even know where to find that information at or anything. So for them to go like I wouldn't be surprised if my Twitter got banned because of that. And it's like I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are getting banned who don't even necessarily believe that. I would guarantee that if you're just, have a differencing of opinion on things, they're going to start banning you and blocking you in the name of Q. So be on the lookout for that, man. It said Twitter will stop recommending accounts and content related to QAnon, including an email and follow recommendations, and will take the steps to limit circulation in places like trends and search. This action will affect approximately 150,000 accounts, according to a spokesperson who asked to remain unnamed due to concerns about the targeted harassment of social media employees. Twitter plans to permanently suspend accounts that violate existing policies around platform manipulation, ban evasion, and operate multiple accounts, behavior commonly seen used by QAnon accounts. The spokesperson said Twitter began blocking QAnon websites last week and will continue to block the distribution of QAnon related URLs, the spokesperson said. QAnon is a right-wing conspiracy theory that centers around the baseless belief that an anonymous tipster is revealing how President Donald Trump is leading a secret war against a so-called deep state, a collection of political, business, and Hollywood elites who, according to the theory, worship Satan and abuse and murder children. Last year, the FBI designated QAnon as a potential domestic theory threat. the FBI's report on QAnon ties to dangerous real world activities led in part to Twitter's decision, a spokesperson said. Man. So, again, this is like really interesting stuff. It's, they're really starting to censor us online, man. And, I will say this on Facebook, my buddy posted a picture, and we've all, I don't know, not we all, but I posted it multiple times. I've seen it posted around multiple times. There's the picture of Joe Biden and, is it Robert Byrd or something like that? A KKK chapter leader. And like Biden is like holding his hand up or whatever, and like they're buddies or whatever, you know? Like there's this famous picture. And in my buddy's picture that he posted, it says Joe Biden, and then it says whatever the guy's name, Bird, KKK leader. And then when I see the post, it's blurred out and it has this like false information thing on it, and it's censored. And I click to see why, and it says, "Oh, he's not a grand wizard, and he was just a chapter leader." And I look at the picture, and the picture doesn't say anything about a grand wizard. It says chapter leader. So they're censoring that picture based on false information from a previous picture that said he was like a grand wizard leader or whatever, something like that. And now they're censoring that picture, even though it's changed, like the wording has changed, they're still censoring it. That's just insane to me, man. That's just crazy. That like cannot happen. How is that okay? And I called it out. I'm like, dude, your post doesn't even say why, like why they're banning it. It like the reason isn't there from your post. Like it's just insane. But there's nothing you can do about it because they already censored it. It's like what are they? What can you do? But call it out. So that's what I'm doing. It's like I gotta call this shit out, man. It's insane. And you know, I was told because it's like I don't know what unbiased or unpartisan journalism really is or anything like that. It's like I don't feel like that can really be a thing. So it's like the outlets I watch and look at and all of that, I try and listen to a bunch of different things and get my information from a bunch of different people, well-rounded sources, and find the facts that way. And it's like some of these websites, that are supposed to be unbiased, it's like I've seen a news topic and statistics on something else, and I try and look it up on this unbiased website, and it's nowhere to be found. So it's like, how unbiased is it if you're not even presenting all the facts of things? And it's like I tried looking up multiple things already on this unbiased news source, and it's like, okay, I can't even find the information that is out there. Like they're not reporting on everything. So it's like I can't just trust like one thing. It's like that's why I have to listen to a bunch of different things and figure it out that way. And I don't know, man. We just have to stay informed, and this whole banning thing and censorship and not reporting on the truth and all of that, or having a bias, or I don't know, man. We just have to be aware. We have to be smart about things. We have to, like, this Q thing is just really concerning to me, man. It's like anybody who goes against the narrative, I feel, is gonna just be targeted and banned, and that's just a scary thing. And it's just funny because I've seen a lot of people get mad that Trump or people are saying, like, if Biden wins, what's happening in like Portland and Seattle and New York and all of that is going to be kind of happening throughout the country because of Joe Biden. And they're like, oh, but this is Trump's America. But it's like, I don't know, man. If you look at all these places, Chicago, and then all those other places that I mentioned as well, these are all Democratic run places and have been for a really long time. And if the whole country goes back to Democrat and these are their goals and views and values, then yeah, we are in real trouble if that happens. Then there could really be a true civil war. Man, this whole election could be really interesting, man. Because you're hearing rumblings of Trump not wanting to give up the power if he loses, but it's like, man, if they're not even going to give a fair election with debates, and they're going to do the mail-in ballots where that's easily easily can be manipulated and cheated, and just that's not a good system. So man, I don't know, man. I don't know what you do because it's they're still scared about the virus and everything. And but if Trump wins, it's like a lot of people are going to be super upset for another 4 years, and then more drama, more Russian hoax, more impeachment hoax, like more all this bullshit. And like then it could cause unrest. But if Biden wins, then it could cause unrest because then like more people are going to be destroying cities. And that's what they want, is this socialist unrest and all of this. It's fuck, man. It's pretty scary out there. It is pretty scary. Let's take another little dab. See if I figure anything else out to talk about. That was kind of it. Kind of went by pretty quick, a lot quicker than I thought, but it's all good. Got the garden going good. We planted some basil, some dill, and some mint around the plants to protect those from any bugs and all of that. I was looking up companion plants for cannabis, and marigolds, basil, mint, dill were all really good for it. So planted those around it, and yeah, that's cool. Got our personal garden going good. Some tomato plants are surviving for now. The peppers are going crazy. The parsley's looking nice. The dill inside our thing is looking nice. Sage is looking good. The basil we have growing in our pot is looking good. So I'm excited about all of that, We've been able to use a little bit of the basil so far, so that's been cool, and some like pasta and all that. Once it goes crazy, man, I can't wait to be making like some pesto and all of that. Man, I want to grow some sunflowers, some maybe like dwarf sunflowers, and get some of those seeds and then make some homemade pesto with sunflower seeds and basil, maybe mix a little spinach in there with it. But if we have enough basil, I'll just use straight basil, man. That'll be good. Let's get into this dab. Cheers. Oh yeah. Oh man. Ooh-wee. Oh man, it was crazy yesterday. My dog, she had a little bit like of an upset stomach. And normally she goes and like eats some grass or whatever that's just kind of around the back. And she was like coughing up in the house and the door was open and she went out. Man, this was crazy. Heard her yakking up a couple minutes later outside. And then maybe a little bit after that, maybe 20 minutes after that or whatever, I go outside to check on the plants again because I'm always checking on them. I'm checking on them 6-7 times a day. I just love being out there with them. And I was just checking on. I was like, what the fuck? Leaves are missing. Like big old fan leaves were just gone. I was like, what in the fuck was this? And then I look at my neighbor's plants. I was like, dude, what is going on? So I went and told him like right away. I was like, hey man, I don't know what's going on with the plants. Something got to them. And it's like, they were not like this just a couple hours ago. Like, what the fuck? Didn't even dawn on me, what ended up happening. But I just had to tell. I was like, dude, something's going on. And then I look to my right and I see this kind of like big pile. And then my dad looks through it. Dude, my dog ate the fan leaves off of the plant. It was insane. She didn't touch any of the buds, none of that. She just wanted the green foliage, man. She just wanted to get that because they eat the grass to kind of throw up and get whatever's in there, out. And she ate a bunch of the fan leaves off, man. It was crazy. And then just puked it all up. And that's what it was. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't a bug. I'm glad she didn't get any of the buds. But it tripped me out, man. Like all of a sudden I see like leaves just gone. Just gone. I was like, what happened? What is eating this? And then it was my dog, dude. So I was like, now I gotta keep an eye on her. If she's sick, definitely go take her to the other grass. Not that, man. But she did a nice trim job on some of them, man. It was funny. I think she got some of the sugar leaves. It was crazy. No bud, though. Like, she didn't chomp any of the bud, but that was crazy. Went out there, almost had a heart attack. Like, what is going on with our plants? But she just wasn't feeling well. Needed some green. And that was the greenest thing, and greenest and closest thing to where she was. And man, she's smart for not eating the flower and stuff. So just those fan leaves, it was really interesting. It was really interesting, but like I said, I was like, what happened? Scared me. But yeah, that was kind of it. I gotta get back to working out. Maybe gotta go on a run. This whole take 3 and figuring out what's going on with the computer kind of really put a halt in things. So I gotta I gotta get this done, get this uploaded, and then I got to figure out a workout, and then I gotta listen to the radio like I was saying. And then there's Padre baseball on tonight, baby. So that's what's going on. That is what's going on here. I am going to be taking off. Have a great weekend. I'll probably be streaming on Twitch, so go check that out. And that is it. Go like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Until next time, peace.